evening, Mzansi. We're just easing you into Monday night. Your primetime trio is back on your screen. Welcome to Trending SA, right here on SABC3. I'm Elma Smith. I'm with my faves, Rifidu Mbakanyane, Mable, down the other kant, saying hello. And to help us unpack tonight's trends, radio and TV broadcaster, Oliver Dickson.
Hey.
Welcome, Oliver.
I've been wanting to be here for a long time.
Well, I'm dressed as your fairy godmother, so
yes.
I've made this possible for you. You can thank me later. Welcome to Trending SA.
You and I look good together.
We do, right?
Okay, all right.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah.
All right, guys, starting with a bit of sad news. Over the weekend, the news of the passing of the legendary actor Phillips flooded the timeline as fans and people within the entertainment industry sent their condolences to the family and friends of this esteemed thespian. And as Trending SA, we send our condolences to his loved ones. Okay, that said, let's get into top trends.
So hashtag Uganda has been making headlines since Ugandans took to the polling stations. That was on the 14th of Jan, and they were going to vote for what would have hopefully been a new leader as well as a new administration. But the outcomes of the election saw the incumbent authoritarian leader Yoweri Museveni keep his position. Get this, Museveni has been in power since 1986. This will mark his 6th term in office. Should he complete it, because Ukugile, he'll have had 40 years in office. And millennials, by the way, people our age, have never experienced any other president. And when I look like this, I'm looking at Alma, because her eyes are this big.
No, guys.
They have not experienced any other president.
No. In the year of our Lord 2021, the initial election polls showed the opposition leader, Bobi Wine, as the front runner in many of the regions. And, you know, the hope flamed up. But the final results left loads of us questioning just how free and fair these elections were, after all. At 19, weighed in on Twitter saying, "How do you expect the current dictator in Uganda to lose elections when, well, I mean, he's the one calling all the shots?" And then at Real ATN Power commended Bobi Wine's courage, and he said, "A clear case of the youth standing up to fight oppression. Though he lost, he put up an impressive fight. He dared to change the status quo. His name shall go down in history." Guys.
You know, let's take a look at this post right here. But guys, I think it's really just so demoralizing to see that we could have tracked this, right? We could have tracked the fact that he basically defied the laws of the country by deciding that he's going to run for another term. We have seen the way he behaved towards opposition front runner Bobi Wine. So we kind of knew it was coming. But I guess the question that I really want to know is, from a continent perspective, why do we always deal with these authoritarian leaders with kid gloves? As in, we are now cheering, as in our president is cheering the AU. Step up, Mr. Cyril or President Cyril Ramaphosa, and speak to your colleagues. Why do we keep doing this as a continent?
Before, I think we just need to recognize just how crazy this Uganda story is, right? Because this is no ordinary people. Museveni has been president for so long, he's out of touch with what's going on in the world. This is a guy who, by presidential decree, and I'm not making this up, outlawed oral sex in the country. It's against the law in Uganda to perform oral sex. This is not a joke, this is true. But more than that, Bobi Wine is not an ordinary Ugandan either. Bobi Wine is a pop star. This is like if AKA decided to run for president and actually got votes.
So like Kanye in the White House, but for real.
But he was just successful.
As in, people are that desperate and people are that in need of a change and options.
You know,
right?
On my side, any country where there are marginalized people who are stripped off of their basic human rights can ban to...
Comes back, he's our deputy chief justice at the time, and he's like, "Hey man, Mugabe broke all these laws. Here's a report of how he broke these laws. Don't certify this election." Thabo Mbeki went in ahead and certified the election.
When did we get hold of that report?
It was never made public.
But also, is it not a la Arab Spring and Black Lives Matter time for the average person in Uganda to now stand up and say...
But they have, though. What we saw happen in Sudan with that woman standing on a car liberating a country, that happens in Uganda every other week.
Yeah. Let's move on. Burn it to the ground. Right, this viral trend, hashtag Stingy Men Association, popped up on my timeline the official group shared this post of a trend which is currently sweeping through the continent. Take a look. It says, fellow SMASA members,
Smasa.
you are not allowed to buy them KFC, chicken licking, pizza, etc. Invite them to your house, give them rice and 2 pieces of chicken to cook. Make sure you dish up first and dish 2 pieces of chicken. So soon after, social media witnessed a throng of South African men flocking to the movement's Twitter page, creating imaginary IDs and pleading their allegiance to the Brotherhood, which left social media in tatters.
This generally, you know, tweeps who are less than amused. Dumisani Mbebe says, I thought it only fair, my kindred, both men and women, that I make an official announcement. Mabli, I'm going to outsource this to you and go.
All right, let me put on my Xhosa and said,
Mali.
Mali yokubolekisa okanye ukukhupha abantu. Isixhosa sitolikwa ke enkosi.
Yeah, which means Xhosa does not get translated. That's why you outsource.
Okay.
All right, James77 commented with this, said, me and my girlfriend on a date after I've joined Stingy Men Association of Ghana.
Guys, but I feel like we've seen this movie with hashtag men's conference and the Association of Husbands and Boyfriends Against Valentine's Day, by the way. It's less than a month away. And now South African men are twerking and there's a little weird goed wat gebeur. So this time of the year, there's something in the water about men and creating imaginary unions. What's wrong with you men?
I think that men are actually tired of buying cars and getting picture frames with your picture.
Oliver, does January trigger like a mass psychosis in South African
Every
men?
month, men are poor in South Africa.
Okay.
So it's just payday?
No, we are poor. That's
Also, guys,
So this is why we come to your houses and you give us 2 pieces of chicken to cook that you will then choose on offering us.
Can I tell
No,
something?
because if I let you cook, you're gonna cook the whole braai pack. That must last at least like 3
Let me
weeks.
tell you
You know?
this. There's no such thing as a stingy man. It's basic accounting, this thing. What you do, if you want to run a successful business, you need to maximize cash flow, you need to limit your liabilities, and if there's an ask me a favor liability, you need to take it out of circulation.
You know what?
In order for your business to make profit.
I feel like if you are that guy who dates the girl who wants the 10K e-wallet,
Yeah.
then you must cry for jou. This
must
is
sweat
all,
for your girl.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Jammer om van jou probleem te. We've asked you to comment on this hashtag Stingy Men Association. And, you know, we're asking, can love really exist if there's no money? Gershwin has a lot to say on the topic. Gershwin wrote us a long letter. Gershwin, thank you for your time.
No, but look.
I'm going to fast forward through a lot of it, Gershwin, but we did read it and we spent a lot of time on this. Basically, he says, if you become unemployed, you don't deserve love. When you earn a lot of money, you can be happy in love and get married. And then he says it's problematic that money and relationships are mentioned in the same breath, but it is the way of the world. And also there were cavemen back in the day, guys, who, if they couldn't feed their wife, found themselves without a wife.
And another one from VJ Katie says, it can exist. Money without, love without money can exist, but can it be sustained? That's the question. Tell me that is not the words of a wise woman, Oliver
Yeah,
Dickson.
no, it can exist from a distance. Like, I love you from all the way there. If I can't afford to, maintain the love, it's relationships are
But
possible.
Oliver, the thing is, there's a scam that's running on Twitter right now. The scam of indota fanele kuphi imali, and it's supported and it's wild. And I'm saying, it's a gift. It's supposed to be a gift.
The irony, though, is that, really, statistically speaking, more women in this country are professionals. That means more women are supporting men than it is the other way around.
It is a real scam on social media. By the way, I'm of the Mendoza school of 50-50. I don't know how y'all grew up. Nobody ever badgered me or gave me stuff. Anyway,
Really? I
nice
will.
soft life. Ooh, listen. Hey,
I'll buy you guys food
doesn't
here
know
every
that I'm
day.
married. After the break, whilst Oliver shoots his shot some more, we continue dishing out the top trends with Oliver Dickson. That hashtag's out on 3.
Thank you for the snap tips, Mabli.
We are complete today.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay, we're going to pack that away. Hashtag, welcome back to TrendingSA. Hashtag Tsa Ansri. Make sure that you keep talking to us. So one of the big trends over the weekend's timelines, hashtag Somizi. Now, this is because, in case you've missed it, his text message exchange with a city press journo. Because this journo did ask him for comment on speculation that his marriage to Mohale Motaung is on the rocks. Rumor. Take a look. The text goes, is infidelity on Mohale's part the reason for your divorce, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes at journo. Says, City Press has become a tabloid. Two can play the game to stand a chance to win. I don't know what. Dial the number and let Julia know what it feels like to have your privacy invaded and unprovoked. He posted Julia's number. He has since deleted this post, but it sent tweeps into a frenzy. Shaylee_S tweeted, Somizi was harsh. You can't defend such. Why did he have to be so defensive? So there is something happening. He could have easily said no comment. Instead, he resorted to violence. Julia was just trying to crack a story, a big one if it's true. It is her job. She didn't harass him. Simpe Wedana then said, I don't think Somizi is wrong. There are boundaries. Respect them. Us being public figures doesn't create grounds for ubawena usikele. Otherwise, write your story unga sifaki. So loads of screen grabs there. Who's wrong?
Well, let's check this out because it doesn't end there, right? This then went on to happen. Somizi got into another heated exchange with a Sunday World journalist. This time it was regarding his show, Cooking with Somizi, and whether or not to come back for a second season. This was the exchange. Good day, my name's Gabelo Kumalo from Sunday World. We've reliably learned that season 2 of Dinner at Somizi's has been put on hold due to legal proceedings instituted by Hastings Mweng. We covered that story. We'd like to give you a right of reply. What is your comment on the show being put on hold? And then Somizi went...
So we deleted that.
We deleted all of that, but just understand to be expletive.
It involved anatomy. There was a lot of description of anatomy there.
Okay. Wow. And then the poor professional journalist said, thanks for the prompt response. Thank you, sir.
That is professional, by the way.
Yeah.
Journalists are not being paid enough to deal with this. Not nearly enough.
You know, this is, I don't know, your take on this, because first of all, people are doing their jobs, you know, as many people on social media weighed in. I have a very hectic and fundamental problem with a journalist being doxxed by a public figure. That's the first thing. We've seen the story before when journalist Karima Brown took the leader of the EFF to court and actually won her case because he had released her own details saying, I don't like the way this woman is covering my stories. It was a whole thing.
The other
should have
true
thought,
as well, right? The other's true. There was a journalist who released an aerial shot of Julius Malema's home, putting his life, his wife and his children in danger.
Let's focus on releasing people's information as in contact details to members of the public because you don't like the questions they're asking you or covering stories around you.
Is it fair? Is it
no,
a fair question?
It's not. Wait, is what fair?
Is the journalist asking a fair question?
Yeah, let's start there. It's nobody's business what's going on in Somizi's relationship. It's none of our business.
Okay.
Oliver,
if
they're doing their work,
Oliver, I want to actually stop you there. From both sides, I looked at this as it was unfolding. What's unfortunate here is the fact that Somizi does have a reality show. Somizi did get married on television. And the unfortunate part of that is that you welcome people to your life. When you are doing all these things, you do get coverage for it. Oh, you've got a new reality show. Oh, you're getting married. What's going to be happening? And there's a lot of coverage around it. There's a lot of press around it. And should something happen within that marriage that was so public, we've seen this happen with Kim Kardashian. We've seen this happen to a lot of people. And I'm saying it's very unfortunate that things unfold like that, and these journalists are covering a big story. You know what I'm saying?
No. Just because I share my joy with you, my marriage, doesn't mean you're entitled to have me share my pain with you, my divorce. Assuming it's true.
That's fine if you're Joe So posting photos of your wedding on Facebook.
If you're anybody, I don't think
if you
should be judging by different standards.
You're not making a distinction between one who's profited from showing aspects of their private lives, intimate parts of their private lives, versus Joe Soap, who's just on social media. So you're not making that distinction.
No, it's my. Okay. No, we're not going to make that distinction.
Okay, then let's get on to the point of how you interact with members of the media. Number one. Number two, whether or not you dox them, as in release that information so that members of the public can get their numbers and either harass them or intimidate them or just send them messages.
For me, listen, Somizi could have woken up having a very bad day or whatever. There could be things that are happening in his life. And I just think it's unfortunate that this matter was handled this way. And for me, the journalists are doing their job.
Guys, there is a pattern here. It doesn't only relate to his marriage. It also relates to business dealing.
Okay, so the second
Badgering the media is never okay, even if the questions asked are offsides.
No, so the second journalist question is a fair one, right? Asking, hey, we learned your show's coming to an end. Is it true? And that's a fair question. I think any journalist who's interested in entertainment media should be able to ask that question. Both responses in both instances are incredibly hostile. Although in the first instance where he doxed a journalist, Somizi should be punitively fined for that. I mean, like, he put someone's life in danger because just with someone's phone number, you can access so much of their private information. If somebody who's like a big Somizi fan works at the credit bureau, they could literally type in your number and know your whole life. And I think that's unfair. Somizi should pay this woman some money for the psychological damage he had caused to her, and then he should pay some money to, like, I don't know, the editors forum or something like that.
Interesting one.
Because
the whole thing is just unfortunate, and I hope they do solve it somehow.
So whilst the table is ablaze here on set, hashtag it's on 3, we're going to go on a quick break. We continue with more trends after the break, and of course, we keep Oliver Dickson as well. A world hafa with him. I should probably be the kid. Welcome back. You're still tuned into TrendingSA. Trending Extended, by the way. So, tweeps. They had a field day with this next trend. Hashtag Zakes Bantwini, after the musician, producer, and businessman took to his Twitter saying this. I know at least 4 people who passed today. Their ventilators stopped working because of load shedding. I wonder how many people lost their loved ones today because of load shedding. Can we at least deal with one pandemic at a time? Please, some believe hashtag COVID-19, load shedding, and ESCOM.
Sure.
After this, people started questioning the legitimacy of his claims, and many poked holes into his story. I wonder why you'd lie about knowing people who've passed away. But anyway, some tweets said it's fear-mongering and he should rather give context by naming and shaming the hospitals in question. And many people saw the light side of his tweets and had this to say.
Right. Abantu underscore came. I don't know why people still have underscores in their
A
thing.
whole Abantu Book Festival.
Abantu Book Festival. A whole book festival said, Zakes writes fiction. Zakes mda, we mean. Wow. While Mkonde Kita added his 2 cents by bringing in Nandi Madida into the mix with this. Zakes and Nandi lying unprovoked in jail.
Okay,
That's funny.
But just to be clear, yeah?
Abantu and Mkonde Kita, you both owe Zakes an apology, ne? Because this is not a lie.
Okay, no,
We have seen these
hold
headlines.
on. Ventilators can't switch off because of electrical failure.
Because there's a story that's out there.
No. What happens is, and this is, we must be factual about it. Hospitals function on something called a 3-phase generation, right? Which means electricity runs on 3 phases. If one phase dies, another phase immediately kicks up. And if we're talking about a ventilator, we're definitely talking about an ICU. It's the only place you'll find a ventilator. In that case, as soon as load shedding kicks in, a generator kicks in. Literally, it's a split-second difference.
Okay, but there is a news story about 6 people at one hospital dying because of an oxygen interruption.
Yeah, doesn't mean the ventilator failed.
Okay.
It means the oxygen failed.
Well,
And this is why we brought in
Oliver
Light to just break it down for all of us. So since tweets,
but then people die. Yes.
Yeah, no, people die.
Okay.
But it's not because of load shedding. Let's not correlate the two.
This is my house, Oliver. So since Tweeps assumed he was lying when in actual fact someone did come in to report on load sheddings and ventilator failures, This got me thinking about something altogether unrelated, but same WhatsApp group. Can you guys about celebrities lying or caught lying unprovoked? Do you guys remember when Beyonce claimed that she had in fact written the song "Irreplaceable," but Neo came in and said,
I wrote this for all of the women out there.
I wrote all the lyrics. She helped put a lot of the melodies and harmonies together.
But she is credited.
Yeah.
She is credited.
Elma, I
she has
could write
writing credits on that song.
I could write a whole song and then you go, instead of green earrings, say red earrings, then you get credited.
But that is that Beyonce touch that makes it everything. But then there's also this one. Lewis Hamilton saying he misses Nelson Mandela every day.
Ah, man.
come on, Oliver, if you
Every
had
day
a
there's a
photo
South
op with
African who
Madiba,
asks.
you would miss him too.
Yeah, I do have a photo, and I miss him.
You miss him as well every day.
No, I miss him on his birthday.
All right. And
Or when
then
politicians
there
do.
was this time
go.
when Bow Wow lied about flying to New York in a private jet. Meanwhile, he was an economist. But Shem, I actually don't blame him. We do these things for the people out there that are watching.
As a connoisseur of OnlyFans accounts and just social media platforms, right? You know that life on the gram does not reflect real life, right?
No, it does.
Okay.
OnlyFans creators don't lie about their content.
Okay, now
Thank you
that
so much, Oliver, for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure, and you must come back with your facts.
I'm so ready for the show to be over now that some people are talking about OnlyFans. It was great to have you join us, both you
It's a
and you at
pleasure.
home. We will see you again tomorrow night, same time, same place. TrendingSA serving you all the trends nice and hot.
Nice and hot.